Men and machines are tearing up the place once again. It's going to be good economics, but this time it's good for the environment too. Using the same methods by which wetlands were once destroyed, a group called Wetlands Research is bringing back these natural areas with the aid of modern equipment on a 450-acre site on the Des Plaines River near Chicago. They are making progress by turning back the clock. "150 years ago, this whole area was a vast expanse of water, a wetland. But to the early settlers who saw it, it was just a swamp. They drained the swamps and turned the rich black soil of the prairies into some of the finest farmland in the country. The land was not only farmed, it was quarried for gravel. River channels were deepened by dredging. Around the Great Lakes, 90% of the wetlands were lost. When storms slammed into the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, there were precious few wetlands left to absorb the water. So rivers overflowed their banks. The losses were enormous. Floodwaters are now contained by concrete channels and reservoirs, but their capacities are limited. Losses from flooding continue to grow. When we lost the wetlands, we also lost water quality. Treatment plants can take care of domestic and industrial sewage, but not the large quantities of contaminated urban and agricultural runoff. Pollution in the form of chemical fertilizers and barnyard drainage go directly into this channelized stream without settling and decomposing as they might in a wetland. There's not much fishing here, not much swimming. Here on the Des Plaines River, Wetlands Research will install nature's own water treatment system. Just 35 miles north of Chicago, the Des Plaines River flows through the site. It's a 3-mile strip of abandoned farmland with ponds formed by old gravel pits. 8 shallow basins will be carved out as experimental wetland areas. A pumping station and a system of pipes will control the flow of river water to the wetlands. As it passes through them and back to the river, the water is cleansed. It slows down. Sediments settle out, and plants remove pollutants. Monitoring stations will measure changes in the water. Downstream, the river will be rerouted. Enlarged wet areas will store floodwaters and provide wildlife habitat. Stands of oak on higher ground will be preserved. By showing how wetlands work, this project may change the way we think about water resources management. This ambitious undertaking was officially inaugurated by the Governor of Illinois at a groundbreaking ceremony on April 17, 1986.
To you, Governor James Thompson.
Bob, thank you. We celebrate today an experiment, the first of its kind in the state of Illinois, and it's an exciting venture. The hope is that by restoring the wetland, we can have natural flooding control, natural pollution control, renewed wildlife habitat. This area will be reconstructed, reseeded, replanted. It couldn't have been done by the state of Illinois alone. It couldn't have been done by the local governments alone. It couldn't have been done by the federal government alone. And it couldn't have been done by the private sector alone. It took a partnership. And I'd like to add my voice to thanking those major
people in business, science, and government already see the value in it.
The project is designed in such a way to give us all the detailed facts that we normally don't get if we go into some natural wetland area. In other words, one of the very important aspects of this whole project here is that we have complete control over the water.
And we'll be able to, in a scientific way, make a comparison between a more natural approach to flood control, as nature originally intended it, versus a man-made approach.
It's a very ambitious project, but, you know, let's not make any small plans, and this is a big one.
Enough thank yous have been said, I think. Now we need action. You know what this is going to do? Let's get it built.
That means clearing trees and brush now and setting regular and controlled prairie fires later on.
What this used to be here in the old days was tall grass but very low prairie. And the fires would come blitzing in out of the west, and they'd come down into the bottoms here, and they would burn it off. It's very rich in species, very wet, and when it rained, the water went off quite slowly. Well, when the fires stopped, the system began to collapse. So what we want to do is get rid of the trees, regrade back the soil, get it wet again, and plant back in native Lake County, Illinois wetland plants. Not because we have some nostalgic, wistful desire to see things the way they were in the old days particularly, but because we want a system that will perform the same way, predictably, over a long period of time and perform effectively.
Once the riverbanks are cleared, they are regraded and smoothed to a very gradual slope. Then they are seeded with the original native prairie wetland plants. Once the underbrush is gone from the oak groves on higher ground, they will be transformed into the cool savannas that once dotted the prairies. In the name of progress, people destroy wetlands. And once they are gone, only people can bring them back. Some might think that it would then be safe to let nature take its course. But without a little help, things would only get worse. This demonstration site will serve as a living laboratory. But if it is to continue to function as a wetland, it will need careful management. This project is taking place on public land. It belongs to the people of the town of Wadsworth, to the people of Lake County, and to the people of Illinois. And what is learned here will belong to the whole country in time. "99% of Illinois' original wetlands are now gone. The information from this project will help us get some of them back. And when we do, clean water, flood control, and a rich community of plants and animals will return. Not just a wilderness, this system can coexist with cities, suburbs, and farms. This project may revolutionize water management by simply installing a system that has been there since the beginning of time.